Lake effect snow ramps up today and tomorrow for portions of Michigan. Winter weather advisories and warnings are already in effect for over 30 counties across Michigan, most of those centered across western lower Michigan. We have a couple up there in northern lower, and as well as a couple up in the UP, with two counties underneath the warning, Houghton and Ontonagon counties, as that is the highest accumulation expected. These will continue. Well, actually, they go into effect sometime today from 1 o'clock to around 7 o'clock, I believe. So it depends on where you're at in your county. We're not going to go over each and every advisory here, but they do go into effect sometime today, and they will continue into that tomorrow time frame. Now, in terms of expected snowfall, let's go ahead and turn over to our model here. This is the high resolution rapid refresh, HRRR for short. This is the forecasted radar over the next 48 hours. We have lake effect snow. It will continue to ramp up across UP and northern lower. And then we're going to get into late tonight. It's going to really kick up here. And then as we look into tomorrow morning early, we're going to start seeing these bands across western lower Michigan by Grand Rapids area. Those really start to kick up overnight into Tuesday morning. And by Tuesday at sunrise, lake effect snow is in full swing here across much of our lake effect belts. That snow will continue throughout the day Tuesday. And then as we move into the late Tuesday night into Wednesday morning, we're going to see a little bit of a lingering pattern here where it starts to kind of weaken and die off. So by the time we get to Tuesday morning, it will likely be wrapping up in terms of total snowfall. Now, our forecast released back on, I believe, Sunday. We did go through Monday on this forecast, but this kind of trended a little bit later than expected. So we can call it a 3-day event, really, Sunday to Tuesday. I think it still applies for the most part here. There's a couple of exceptions we probably should adjust and probably will adjust later on today. The 8 to 14 up there is looking good. I will say one thing here, and that is down by Grand Rapids over to Lansing, Kalamazoo, Jackson areas. We're likely going to adjust that up to right around 2 to 4, maybe 3 to 6 for you guys, as snowfall will be a little bit more potent than expected. And that is just because models didn't really get a good handle on it until after we made the forecast, which is typical with lake effect belts. But if I switch over here to the model to give you guys an idea, I do think the model fits what we're kind of thinking as well. What we have thought for the most part. Going through the entire 48-hour mark here is 48 hours worth of accumulation of snowfall. So we're seeing totals up here in the western UP, close to about a foot of snow up there, from Munising all the way over here toward Ontonagon and Houghton counties that are under the warning as well. Up by Gaylord, just to the west of Gaylord, west of Gaylord, we're seeing a nice pocket of 8 to 12 up there. And then this is the pocket I'm talking about down here in lower Michigan, from Kalamazoo to Grand Rapids and over toward Lansing area. A pocket of 2 to 4, maybe isolated higher amounts, does show up on this model here. So I do think that our forecast needs to be adjusted. We'll get with our forecast team here this afternoon and probably put an updated forecast map out. But all in all, I do think our forecast does remain on track elsewhere. Just going to be extended a day later than expected. Now, I know there's a lot of rumblings out there about this system that we're looking at for the weekend. We posted a 8 to 14 day outlook map here from the CPC, and is a risk for heavy snow, and it covers a wide area of Michigan. So wide area of the U.S., should I say, including Michigan. So take note, first thing, this is a slight risk, which is 20 to 40% risk. At the very, very bottom of the screen, there's a probability. So a slight risk, 20 to 40, a moderate risk is 40 to 60, and a high risk is anything above 60%. So we find this ginormous slight risk here in effect from January 18th to January 24th, Michigan included. So what are we looking at in terms of our systems coming through this time frame? Well, the GFS model, excuse me, the GFS model is the only model currently that shows anything of significance. So yesterday it started picking up on a system around this time frame. I do think there is good potential for a system to track through somewhere in the area. Not going to say it's going to hit Michigan, but somewhere in the area here. As I move this through the week today, or through the week this week, we're going to see a clipper system kind of bring some light snowfall perhaps for Thursday. Another one coming through for a bit later of the week. This is our system to watch right here across the central U.S. So we'll be getting to Friday and Saturday this week. Watch that closely here. It's going to start developing pretty much directly overhead of us. It's going to be rain, snow to mix here, according to this model currently. Now, this is not a forecast, just a general idea of what the models are saying right now. This is late Friday, early Saturday. As we move into Saturday, it kind of changes over to snow there for portions of Michigan. And then we're going to move into the Saturday during the day. And that system impacts the Northeast more than it does Michigan. And then that continues off onto the ocean. That is the GFS model. We also have another system that kind of develops on the south side of that, and that again misses Michigan to the east, but impacts the Northeast with a lot of heavy snow, perhaps some rain mix as well. So we're going to keep an eye on that very closely. The European also shows a similar pattern here. There's our clipper today, our lake effect snow behind it, another another clipper system for the midweek Thursday time frame right there. And then we get to Friday, Saturday. We're going to watch that system to the south. Here it comes. There it is. European says it's going to start as rain. So that is our biggest concern now, is figuring out what the system's going to do. Is it going to be rain? Is it going to be snow? How quick it can get its act together, and if it can form and dump some snow on Michigan. Right now, it appears the Northeast is more favored for any precip from it. But I will say the system does look to be in that time frame. I do think there's a risk for heavy snow somewhere across the Midwest and the Northeast, but I just can't say where exactly. So we're going to track this every day up until we get to this point. Right now, nothing is set in stone. We're still 100 hours plus out from this, so it's nothing to forecast. We're kind of in that wait and see pattern watching mode here. No specific details at this time. One more thing I'll touch on this week is going to be very cold. We discussed it yesterday, and the latest 6 to 10 day outlook from the CPC puts a 90% probability of below average temperatures across the central United States here, that very dark blue contour. It's insane. We're going to be looking at very, very cold temperatures here as we move into the week. Going to the temperature pattern here, we're going to see a warm up right around that Thursday, Friday, Saturday. We could be in the mid to upper 30s around that time frame, and that is the last we're going to see for quite some time. I don't buy that 36-degree stat there for the 27th of January. I just don't buy that yet. We're going to be cold, though, from about 19th to the 20th through about the 27th or so and beyond. I'm thinking beyond that, honestly. Overall consensus, though, it's cold. We're seeing single-digit temperatures and low temperatures in the negatives being a possibility during this time frame. So this is a very, very cold pattern setting up. We'll likely be in it for at least a week to 10 days. We'll keep you guys updated with this every single day leading up to, number one, a potential system for the weekend, and number two, this cold that ushers in behind the weekend. With that being said, I'm going to pop out here. Before I do, I'm going to give a shout out to our sponsor today. We're going to go Katz Roofing and Siding, based out of Potterville, Michigan, which is near Lansing. They do roofing, siding, window, and gutter needs. The number to contact is 517-485-9886. And thank you to Katz Roofing and Siding for sponsoring today's YouTube video here at Michigan Storm Chasers. I will catch you guys later. You guys enjoy your day today. Enjoy the snow if you're getting some. Travel safe out there and stay warm.